Hey guys, it's October 26th of 2023. It's a Thursday. I'm working late. I gotta finish this project. What I'm doing is what I'm working on, first of all, is a 2008 GMC Acadia with a 3.6 liter engine. And I'm doing a head gasket job. Of course, I'm gonna do the timing chain job. I'm probably not shoot the timing chain job on this video. If you want to watch the timing chain, you can go to my channel and there should be timing chain replacement for an Acadia. This is 2007, 2008 only on the GMC Acadia. This is one motor. This is the first generation. I don't know, I'm not quite sure when this motor started. I seen it on a 2005 Buick Regal. So I'm thinking it started like back from 2005 and 2005, 2006, 2007, and 2008. However, the GMC Acadia did not start coming out until 2007. So I've been working on this 3.6 engine, and I've done just about every single one of them. There's a lot of different 3.6 liter engines out there. So make sure when you're working on one of these, make sure you get the right parts for this engine, because not all of them, they all look the same, but they're not all the same. So make sure you get the right parts for the engine. The reason why I'm doing the heads, this engine did not overheat. It did not overheat. I didn't have no overheating problem. The reason why I have to remove the cylinder heads is because there was no compression. So after running my diagnostic, I noticed that none of the cylinders have any compression. So what I found out, I ran a cylinder leak down test. I have another video on the cylinder leak down test, how to check compression on every single cylinder. And my diagnostic was that the exhaust valves were not sealing properly. I got some of the exhaust valves. Let me see. I think I got rid of most of them. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it. They're pretty nasty. They're rough. They wore out. They pitted. They're not sealing. So I didn't even bother to reuse those exhaust valves. You can reuse them. You just have to clean them and seat them properly. I went ahead and bought new valves, and that took care of my problem. So today I want to teach you how to do your head gasket on these engines. The way that I do it is going to be different than the way that the book calls for. I tried to do it before, like the book says, but I always ended up breaking the bolts, even though there were new bolts. And I got some from GM, they broke off. I got some aftermarket, they broke off. So I do not like the torque procedures from the book. So I just figure out my own way, and this is how I've been doing it for the last 6 years, and I haven't had any problems yet with the head bolts. So another thing that I want to mention, if you're working on this engine because it overheated, then you might consider you will need some new head bolts, because These head bolts, they stretch. They're supposed to stretch. Uh, that's why they call torque to yield bolts, and you're not supposed to reuse them. But for some reason, every time I get the new ones and follow procedures, I always end up breaking one of them into the block. And once you break it, there's no way to get it out. It'll break way down there. So once you break one, that's it. The block is done. You can't do anything with the block. You can't even strap the bolt because it's all the way in there. So I messed up like 3-4 engines like that, and I say, fuck it up. I'm not gonna do the way the book says. I'm gonna do my way. So today I'm gonna teach you my way to do the head gasket on this engine. And like I said, I've been doing between this year and last year, I probably did almost 300 engines. So I got plenty of videos of these engines, and I work on these engines all the time, and this is just natural for me to do. I know a lot of people are kind of scared about these engines. There's really nothing to it. They're a little complicated because they have way too many variations, not variations, but how can I put this? They have way too many components that you have to look at, not only the mechanical side, but also the electrical side and the electronic side. So that's what makes these engines very complex, because of the mechanical side and the electrical side. It's just way too many components out there, and a lot of people, if they don't know these engines well, they're gonna give you a they will misdiagnose these engines, and that's what's happening a lot of the times, because it's very easy to misdiagnose these engines. So if you're not very familiar with them, I would suggest you to take it to a shop where they know what they're doing. But for the DIYers, I just want to tell you now, there's nothing to it. There's nothing to it. If I can do it, I know you can do it. And if you follow my steps, you're gonna be fine. You can do just okay. And trust me when I show you something on these engines, because I've done hundreds of them, and so far I haven't had any problems with them. So with that being said, well, I don't know if I mentioned it, but if you're doing this because the engine overheated, I will suggest you to check your engine block, because this is aluminum. It is an aluminum block, and the cylinder heads are aluminum. So if it overheats, most likely the cylinder head is gonna warp, and the block will warp too. So you have to check for your clearances. I got my notes right here. This is what they want us to do on the 15 millimeter. It says M11 cylinder head bolts, but that's the 15 millimeter head bolts. The first pass we have to go to 20 foot-pounds, and the second pass they want us to do 150 degrees. I tried this method, and I always end up breaking bolts, so I'm not doing that anymore. I'm just gonna show you the way I do it. And on the small bolts, it's 11 foot-pounds, and then you're gonna do 15 degrees. And the warpage, you should have less than 2,000ths of an inch, excuse me. So if you got 2,000ths of an inch, You still can do it, you still can make it work. But if you have more than 2 thousandths of an inch, then that means the block will have to be resurfaced. This is not the case. This engine did not overheat. I just removed the heads because I had to replace the exhaust valves. And but if your engine overheated, just go ahead and take the cylinder head to the machine shop so they can do the repairs, and they can resurface the head. And when I say 2 thousandths of an inch, let me show you. If your block is warped, you know, just get a straight edge. You can get a straight edge, and with your flashlight, you can go across the block, and there should be no light coming through. I don't see no light coming through. You can do the light test, or you can get your filler gauge. I got a filler gauge right here, and I'll just get you a straight edge, you know, and just go across the block, and your filler gauge should not be able to pass through. But if your filler gauge goes through it, that means your block is warped. So you will have to take this block to get resurfaced. I done it to where I had 2 thousandths of an inch a warpage in here, but I take the head to the machine shop, and with the new head gasket and with the resurfaced head, it'll be okay. It will still work, but you don't want to have more than 2 thousandths of an inch. So that's one way to check. So I think I'll talk enough. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reuse the head bolts. As you can see, I already cleaned the head bolts. They're pretty clean. I cleaned the threads. The threads are clean, and I'm gonna reuse these head bolts. These are this is what they call the M8, and these are called the M11, but these are 13 millimeters and these are 15 millimeters. I got my head gaskets in here. This is gonna be bank. This is left bank 2, and this is the head gasket for bank 2. Felpro makes these gaskets. I've been using Felpro for the last 6-7 years, and the left hand is 26376 PT, and bank 1 is gonna be the right hand 26377 PT, and these gaskets are pretty good. There's this hold on, I'll be right back. Never mind, I couldn't find it. There's this copper gasket sealer that you can use. You done it both ways, with or without it. Either way works. Even if you do it without it, it's still gonna work. The gasket's still gonna seal fine. I don't see this. I don't see the can. I usually keep one in stock, but I think I ran out. So either way, with or without it, the copper seal gasket, head gasket, with or without it, you can still, it'll still be fine. You can do either way. The only thing I don't like using the copper seal head gasket is that you spray the head gasket and it'll make a really nice and tight seal. If you miss something, it'll seal it really good. But a lot of that copper sealing is gonna go into the coolant jets, and it's gonna get mixed up with your coolant. That's why I didn't like it, and I kind of stopped using it. I didn't. I mean, it makes a good seal. If you don't mind that stuff floating around your radiator, which I don't think is good, you know. But anyway, so I kind of stopped using it, and I'm just doing my gaskets dry. And the Felpro gaskets are pretty good. I haven't had any issues with them. Another thing that I want to mention, I want to point out, whenever you remove the head, make sure you blow out all of these holes where the head bolts are gonna go in. A lot of times they'll be full of oil, dirt, debris, and that's gonna give you a wrong torque. So, to be honest with you, like my block is pretty clean, but I always pressure wash them. I don't have a machine that washes the parts, but I pressure wash them, and then I clean them, blow them off with air to make sure I blew off the all of the water, because you don't want to pressure wash this block and just let it sit with water. It will rust. So if you pressure wash it, I use a lot of degreaser and I pressure wash it, and right after I pressure wash it, I just blow it off. I blow everything off with compressed air. I have a pressure washer that it has it's got like 600 psi, so it's gonna blow everything out. As you can see, I mean, it looks pretty clean. Everything looks pretty clean, so the pressure washer is pretty good. So if you're using a pressure washer, just make sure you blow off all the water out of there. That way it's not gonna rust on you. But with that being said, let's go ahead and start on our head gasket. So I do not have the I can't find it anywhere. I know I had a can, but the copper seal. But anyway, I'm not gonna use it today. I was gonna show you. First thing you want to do, you want to on your block, you want to remove all of your old head gasket, and this is what I use. I got this die grinder. It's a 1/4 inch air die grinder, and I'm using this 3M scrubbing pad. And the way I do it, I don't sit on one spot and start cleaning. I'll go evenly across the whole deck, you know, and I go like this. I go like this first, and then I go like this evenly. You don't want to, this doesn't take out metal. It's kind of rough. It will take all the head gasket material, but if you stay on one spot for too long, it will take some aluminum off. So you don't want to do that. You just want to go across evenly. Same with the head. If you're doing it yourself, just clean it and don't dig into it. But this is what the gasket look like. This is what it looks like. I actually grabbed the wrong one. So these are some of the tips that you have to look for, you know, and this is gonna be our head gasket for our left bank. So once you got everything cleaned up, I actually use I use a towel with gasoline, and I clean my deck, and I clean the cylinder head. So this is very simple. You can't put it the wrong way. It's not gonna fit the wrong way, and it's only gonna fit one way, so you can't go wrong with this. So we got our head gasket. And let me get the cylinder head over here for the left bank. This is the cylinder head. I don't know if you ever see it. Like I said, I cleaned the old head gasket right here. All of my exhaust valves are brand new. I got them from I got them from the parts department. I don't have a part number. No, yeah, I don't have a part number. But if you need it, I can put it below in the description. So I seat the valves myself. I have another video how to seat the valves if you want to go back and look at it. And so all of my surfaces I clean. They are clean. You can use brake clean to clean the deck, or you can use gasoline to clean these up. So let me just go ahead and get a rag with the with some gasoline, just to make sure that it's I'll be right back. So I'm just gonna go across the deck, make sure that I'm getting everything cleaned. And try not to use the red towels. Those red towels leave a lot of debris behind. So use like cotton, or like an old shirt, or just make sure you get a rag that's not gonna leave any debris behind. So everything is pretty clean. Oh no, I got the wrong head. Let me flip this around, guys. Sorry, I wasn't ready. So we're gonna have to do this side. We're gonna have to do this side. I think I was right all along, but I don't know why I had to flip this. Okay, so my deck is clean. I already checked for warpage. I got my dowel pins. My cylinder head is ready. All of my valves are seated. I have no warpage on my cylinder head either. And once we seat the cylinder head on here, I'm gonna show you how to test it. That way, you double check your work before you even install the engine into the car. Because if you leave one of these valves, if you don't seat one of these valves properly, and they start to the pressure starts escaping, you're gonna have a misfire. So before we even tighten the head gasket all the way down, I'm gonna show you how I do it. So same thing on this side. This head gasket can only go in one way. This is like an improvised head gasket. Haven't seen this head gasket. This is a Felper too. Notice the difference. This one looks a lot better. But either way, this is the old, this is the Felper gasket, and same part number, it's just a different color. Still works pretty good. I like this one. Okay. Same thing with this gasket. It can only go in one way. You can't put it in wrong. It's not gonna fit. So now what we're gonna do, we're just gonna seat the head on the block, and we're just gonna guide these two dowel pins. We're gonna guide these two dowel pins first. This is 2007, 2008. So if you have 2009, it's gonna be a little bit different. The reason being is because this is a natural aspirated engine, and the 2009 and up, that's what is called the direct injection. So it's going to be a little different than the 2007, 2008. We'll be making a video for the head gasket on the 2009 and up. It's coming soon. So because it's just about the same procedure, but it makes a difference right here where the injectors go. This doesn't really matter. You can seat them however you want. You can seat this one first, you can seat that one first, or vice versa. So my cylinder head is sitting right now on the dowel pins. I'm gonna reuse my my head bolts, and we're gonna torque them to 80 foot-pounds, and we're gonna do it on stages. I like to go 20 foot-pounds, and then 30, and then 40, and then 50, and so forth until we get to 80 foot-pounds. But we're not gonna do this dry. Like I was mentioning on the head bolt holes, make sure they're clean. Blow them off with compressed air. Make sure that there's no dirt, there's no grease, there's no water. Make sure that they are 100% clean so you can get an accurate torque. So we're not gonna do this dry, we're gonna do this wet. And what I'm using is engine oil. So I'm just gonna dip my bolt. I'm just gonna dip my threads on there, and I'm gonna put a little bit of engine oil on the cylinder head where the bolt seats, so that way this is gonna be lubricated. The head of the bolt is gonna be lubricated, so I'm gonna put a little bit of oil around it, and then we're gonna seat it. You can do the same thing with this one. This is engine oil, so you just wanna dip the threads in there and put a little bit of oil on the cylinder head where the head bolt is gonna seat. And we're gonna do all head bolts like this. And this is gonna give us some accurate torque. I know a lot of people are gonna disagree with me because the book says otherwise, but I've been doing this for too long that I'm very confident, I'm very comfortable with this method. I don't even follow the book anymore. It's good to follow the book. You should always do it like the book says, but For me, it just don't work. I don't know, maybe I'm doing it wrong, but I figure this way is better, easier, and I don't have no problems. And so far it's working for me. So, like I said, if the engine overheated, you're most likely gonna have to use new head bolts. Notice on my notes, it says right here, do not reuse the old cylinder head bolts. That's what they want us to do, but like I said, this is the way I do it. It works fine. I never had a problem. So I'm gonna start right here on this bolt. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts. So I'm gonna start 1, 2, 3 on the third bolt, and I'm gonna work my way. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do a square. I'm gonna start right here, then I'm gonna go down. I'm gonna go into this one, and then I'm gonna go out on the front, down, and go back over here. So kind of like we're doing a square first, and then we're doing a rectangle. And that's how we're gonna torque our head bolts. I'm using an impact. Don't freak out. This is a very low torque impact. This is more like a speed range. It's not an impact. It has no torque. I can only get like 15 pounds of torque. The most I got is like 20 pounds of torque. So there's really no torque on this impact. Don't try to go crazy with the 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch impact, because you're gonna damage this head. You're gonna break the bolts, and the cylinder head is gonna warp. So I'm just driving them in right now. I'm making sure they're going in with no problem. So I dropped all of them in, and I'm gonna start tightening up on the third bolt right here. Then I'm gonna go around. So. That's about 20 inch-pounds right there, and what you need to do is we're gonna torque everything to 20 inch-pounds. First thing you gotta do is you gotta go buy one of these expensive snap-on digital torque wrench so you can get an accurate reading. I'm just joking. You don't have to. You can do it with any. You can do that with any torque wrench. I just got some fancy tools. I love my fancy tools, but you don't have to get a snap-on or a digital or anything. You can just go to the parts store and just rent the torque wrench. So we're gonna go 20 pounds. You see my torque wrench, my impact doesn't even have 20 pounds. Okay, so that's 20. So we're gonna follow the same pattern every single time. That's 20. 20. I'm on 20, 20, 20, Okay, and the way I'm doing it is the way I'm torquing it is trying to sit the head evenly. So I did 20 on all of them, so I'm just gonna go back and recheck and make sure that all of them are 20 pounds of torque. You see? Yeah, some of them are gonna get loose. So after you do the 20, I'll just go back and recheck everything. That way you're making sure that you have an even torque, because the head is gonna start moving down evenly, and some of these bolts are gonna start getting loose. So we got 20 pounds of pressure right there. I got my spark plugs in. We got 20 pounds of pressure right there. Before we torque this down to 80 foot-pounds, I'm gonna go ahead and torque the head bolts to 40 foot-pounds, and I'm gonna run a quick test on the cylinder head, just to make sure that we got a good seal on the piston rings, and to make sure that we got a good seal on the intake and the exhaust valves. So I'm gonna go all the way up to 40 pounds, and that's all we need. That's all we need to run this test. This test is called the cylinder leak down test, and it's gonna be able to tell us a lot about our engine. So now I gotta go 30 foot-pounds. Hang in there with me. I'm gonna try not to make this video too long. So we're gonna follow the same pattern. We're gonna make a square, and then we're gonna go out and make a rectangle. So we're going for 30 foot-pounds. That's 30 foot-pounds. 30 foot-pounds. 30 foot-pounds. 30 foot-pounds. 30. 30. 30. Okay. Now I'm gonna recheck every single one, and I wanna make sure that they all have 30 foot-pounds. 30. 30. 30 foot-pounds. 30 foot-pounds. 30. 30 foot-pounds. Okay, they all torqued down to 30 foot-pounds. And now I'm gonna bump it up to 40 foot-pounds. I know it's kind of boring the way I do it. It's kind of long, but I like doing it this way. Okay, so we're gonna go with 40 foot-pounds. Okay, that's 40. That's 40. 40 right there. 40. 40. 40. if you follow this procedure, you don't have to mark your bolts, because if you stop right here, then you're like, oh my God, what did I left off? What I need to do next? Well, you already know you're going like this. So if I'm here, all I gotta do is this bolt. And then once you're here, then you know you're already done. But I'm gonna go ahead and recheck again and make sure that all of my bolts have 40 foot-pounds. See? Notice that my bolts are not turning anymore. I got all 40 foot-pounds and the bolts are not turning anymore. Except for this one. Okay, 40. 40. 40. So that means our cylinder head is sitting properly now. It's not torqued to specs yet, but we kind of crushed the head gasket already. So I'm gonna stop right here and I'm gonna do the cylinder leak down test. I'm gonna do the cylinder leak down test, and I'm gonna show you, because these valves, I seat the valves myself and I pressure tested them before I installed the cylinder head. But I want to run another test, and I want to make sure that they hold in pressure and they're not leaking. So let me get my my tool for the cylinder leak down test. I gotta get the spark plugs out of here first. Give me just 1 second. Okay, my spark plugs are out, and now I'm going to run the cylinder leak down test. These are my this is my cylinder leak down test gauge. Part number, I can't even read it, it's so old. I bought it like 10 years ago. I believe it's EEPV 509. I bought this a long time ago, and this is the best tool. This is the best tool I ever bought. It's worth the money that it made me. This tool already paid for itself like 100 times. So we're gonna do a leak down test. All we need is we need about 90 to 100 psi of air, of pressure. You can do more if you want, but you don't have to. Just 100 psi would work. And on this gauge, we should be somewhere on the green or set. And if you're on the green or set, then that means your valves and your piston rings are making a pretty good seal. Just notice that my crankshaft is probably gonna spin because of the pressure. We put in 100 pounds of pressure into the cylinder, and if it's moving, if it rotates, that's a pretty good indication that we have a pretty good a seal. We have a pretty good seal. So let me go ahead, put some pressure. Hold on just a second. here we go. As you can see, I'm running a little over 100 psi. I think my regulator is broken. Yeah, it doesn't even turn anymore. So I'm running a little over 100 psi, and I'm way past the set mark. So that means this is really good. It's making a really good seal. And another way you can check it, you can put your hand right here on the intake side. I don't feel no leak. Or you can put your hand on the exhaust port. I don't hear anything leaking. I don't feel anything leaking. Another way you can do is, I'm using this tool right here. I don't know where it came from. And I'm using this ball hammer. And I'm just gonna tap on top of the valve. Let me just move it a little bit over here. I'm just gonna tap on top of the valve. When you do the exhaust, you step back because it's 100 pounds of pressure. So when you open the valve, it's gonna release 100 pounds of pressure, and it might hit you on the chest, on your belly, and trust me, it hurts. It hurts. So just kind of step back. And I like that sound. That means we've got a pretty good seal. Our piston rings are sealing. Our intake valves are sealing. And our exhaust valves are sealing. So that's pretty good. So far, I like what I see. And this test is gonna help you a lot to determine whether you have a good engine or a bad engine, because you don't want to go through all this work and find out you have a bad valve, and then you have to remove the engine again so you can remove the valve and the cylinder head. You don't have to completely remove the engine like I did, but I did this because I'm gonna redo I'm redoing the heads, and I'm gonna do some repairs to the transmission. So that's gonna be maybe another video. So let's go with the next cylinder. It's kind of hot in here, guys. And as you can see, we are over 100 pounds, and this needle is way past the set mark. So same thing. We're gonna check our exhaust port. I don't feel nothing leaking in here. And we're gonna check our intake port. I don't feel anything leaking in here. And then we're gonna do a sound test. I like what I'm hearing, I like what I'm seeing, and just make sure you step back. Ah! Oh, that hit me. Woo! That hurts. So we're still at 100 pounds, and we're still way past the set mark. So I'm loving it. I like what I see. I like what I'm hearing. This is just, I can just hear money. Yeah. I think my crankshaft moved. Same thing on this one. We are way past the set mark, and let me see. I think I got very, very little leakage on my intake valve. Very little leakage. So we're gonna do a sound test. I like the way it sounds. I don't know about you guys, but I like the way it sounds. Even if you have a little bit of leakage, it's gonna be all right. So now we completed this test. I know my rings are good. I know my exhaust valves are good. I know my intake valves are good. I know my head gasket is good. Now we're gonna complete it. We're gonna complete our torque down. We're gonna go to, right now we got 40 foot-pounds, and we're gonna go all the way up to 80 foot-pounds. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this. Once you get 50 or 60, the whole end is gonna turn it. It's gonna try to twist. So I'll figure out a way. Now that we're gonna do 80 foot-pounds, that small torque range is not gonna do any good for us. We need the big range. So I'm putting out my half inch range, torque range. So we stop at 40, so we're gonna go 50 now. And we're gonna do the same procedure. I actually got this from Snap On. This is a 15 millimeter. It's a long socket. And I like it that way I don't have to use an extension. Let me see, part number is S1MML150. And I love this socket right here. This is perfect. This is perfect for this job. So we're gonna go 50 foot-pounds. Okay. 50, and we're gonna follow the same pattern we were doing earlier. This aluminum is kind of sharp, so be careful. I got cut several times already, so. That's 50. And I'm just gonna verify, make sure all of them have 50. 50. So that's 50 foot-pounds right there. Now I'm gonna bump it up to 60 foot-pounds. Hang in there, guys. I'm almost done. So this is when it starts getting a little trickier because the whole engine is gonna try to turn. So I'm gonna have to rest it somewhere. So that's 60. You see, the whole engine is gonna try to turn. So we have to rest it somewhere to where it's not trying to turn on us. I'm just gonna rest it against the transmission. Hopefully that'll give us leverage right there. Okay, that's 60. We're following the same pattern over and over. That's 60. Come on. 60. It is kind of scary. It feels like the bolt is gonna break. Okay, that's 60. And now I'm gonna make sure that everything has 60 PSI. Okay, 60. 60. 60. 60. 60. 60. 60. Okay, I'm gonna bump it up to 70 foot-pounds now. Okay, so we're gonna do 70 foot-pounds. Come on. Whew, 70. I know it's a slow process. The process of the book sounds better, but like I said, I tried it. I ruined like 3 blocks, and that was just a waste of time and a waste of money. So now I'm doing it this way, and I like this way, and I haven't had any problems with it. Yeah, 70 right there. I'm almost done. Damn it. 70. 70. Now I gotta double check, make sure every single bolt's got 70 pounds pressure. So 70. 70. 70. My hand started hurting already. Oh shit. No, I know it might be easier if I do it on the engine stand, but the way I handle these engines, for me it's easier to have it on the table. 70. So now I'm gonna bump it up to 80. And that's gonna be our final pass. 80 pounds of pressure. It gets kind of harder once it hits 80, because the whole engine wants to turn. Come on. That's 80. Not only I'm putting 80 pounds of pressure on the cylinder head, but I'm putting 80 pounds of pressure on my other hand. So here we go again. Come on. That's 80. Hang in there, guys. I'm almost done. Come on. Come on. 80. Come on. That's 80. Come on. That's 80. Come on. Stop turning. That's 80. Come on. That's 80. And we're gonna double check. Make sure that all have 80 pounds pressure. There we go, right there. We're good. We're good. Oh, come on. Okay, we got 80 pounds pressure all the way. That's a pretty good workout. Now I got my 13mm bolt. Same thing, you can do this one dry. we're gonna drive it. We can drive it in. We're gonna drive it in, and we're gonna do 15 foot-pounds on it. We're gonna do 15 foot-pounds on it. We're gonna use the small torque wrench. Oh, my hand is hurting. That was a good workout. I still gotta do the other head. So we're gonna do 15 foot-pounds on this. And then we're gonna do 80 degrees. So we're gonna do 80 degrees. Give me just 1 second. I'm gonna do 80 degrees. And that's it. We are complete. We're done with the hair gasket on this side. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do the other side. But it's gonna be the same procedure. If you follow my my steps, you should be okay. So on this side, I'm gonna do the same thing, same procedure. But for now, this is it. I think I'm gonna leave this like this, and I'm gonna try to make another video. In Spanish. A lot of people have been asking me to make videos in Spanish. So just the way I did it on this side, that's the way you're gonna do it on this side. And make sure before you crush the head gasket all the way down, just do the cylinder leak down test to make sure that your valves are seated properly, and make sure that your rings are sealing properly. And after that, we're gonna have to do the timing chain. I already have a video for the timing chain, GMC Acadia. You can go back to my page and look at it. And well, this is it for now, guys. If you like this content, if you like this video, make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. And I'm gonna try to bring you some more videos about these engines. I pretty much know every single engine, any of the 3.6. They come on anything that's GM. Anything that is GM, it's gonna have a 3.6. So if you like this content, just follow me for more, and I'll see you on the next one. You guys have a good night. Take care.